Welcome back to the GSTL. Just had Sculpt take out Hyun, and of course, Symbol is coming in, another Zerg player. And Symbol, of course, the star of TSL these days. You know, more so than Holt even right now.
He is 9-0 in the team league, and that is really impressive. I think in this season, he's the most successful player.
Yeah, he is by far. You can see it on that chart we have during the beginning of...
Look at him. He's getting pumped. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do this.
He's like, I wasn't supposed to come out this early, but all right. Well, like we mentioned earlier, this is a tough map for Terran. I mean, the run-by potential at the third is it's so there. I don't know what else to say.
I like how he's actually approaching this, how he's getting into this mindset.
He's pulling a Choya right now, man.
When I was younger, I was doing some martial arts, and every time we went to a tournament and I was having one of the fights coming up, I was always just trying to get into this really aggressive mindset where like, yeah, I'm better than you and I'm going to take you down, this is it, here we go. And this is exactly what he does. This is exactly what he does right now. I love it.
Well, we are going into the game right now on Metropolis, the GSTL, TSL, and NS Hosa.
To the left side of the map, starting after a win against Hyun, we have in the red the Terran player for NS Hosa. It is the player with the ID.
NS Hosa, Scalper!
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty good play last game from this guy.
He's up against another Zerg player. He's playing in the same matchup that he just played on Cloud Kingdom, but on a map that he probably does not like too much. Metropolis is Zerg favored. And to the right,
a Zerg player in the blue from the team TSL, their star player.
TSL, Symbol!
TSL player is still in Code S, was able to advance out of the group of death.
He looks really nervous. Well, when you have a perfect
he's
record,
not nervous.
When you have a perfect record, man, all you can think about is, well, what if I don't have a perfect record after today?
Oh, I don't think so. I really think that he's eager to play this. He's eager to prove himself and to show his skill. I don't think he's nervous about this. He knows that he's good enough to take Sculpt down here, that he's even the favorite player. The map is working in his favor as well. I think he really wants this. He was eager to play today.
Yeah, he seemed like it on the bench for sure. Hatch first, of course, on this map, very common. Pretty much hatch first always against Terran these days. No one is going for Reactor Hellions before Command Center. That never happens anymore. And this drone will actually probably gas steal to save itself and also to really annoy the follow-up to this. It's going to be much harder to get those Hellions out if your opponent steals your gas.
And here's the spawning pool. Start with the spawning pool, and well, we talked about the style that a lot of TSL Zergs use where they start with queens, but I can actually see Symbol relying on a little bit of a faster gas on this map. It offers him the possibility to be more aggressive. At the same time, also, I think he could do it. If not, we'll probably see once again macro hatch as part of the wall in. Map winner by Erase here, just shown 9-17. This is exactly what Wolf talked about, that the map is in favor of Zerg these days.
That's about a 33% win rate. That's, like, I guess a little bit more than 33, about 35 to 36 or so. Well, we are going to see double gas come out from Sculpt ASAP here, unless he goes for the same fast third command center build, which is something that's entirely possible. It looks like that's going to be his choice here, as he has not gassed yet. His mineral is getting a little bit higher. On this map, though, it's very difficult as a Terran to take your third base without killing the rocks that lead to the third. And even if you do, you have to set up a bunker there because that third base is so far away. It's something that we saw Hyun really capitalize on, trying to counterattack multiple times. Very Hyun-like, very Lucero-like to play like this. And ooh, going up to 4 racks here. Very Marine King-esque, a little bit of a bomber twist in here. putting on aggression afterwards is not what most Zerg players expect these days, but I like it considering the map choice.
Exactly. We talked about this as well. It is something that you can do, especially when your opponent is relying heavily on queens, which is something that Symbol is doing once again. Very TSL style, what he is currently trying to do. And with all these Marines, if you attack and there are no... Well, you don't have speed, so you can't chase them down. He's adding a... Come again? He's adding a fifth. Yeah, he's adding a fifth. But now we have the gas, so he's actually adding double gas. I don't think he scouted it, but if he gets an earlier speed out, that will help him so much. I really love this. He's not only relying on the 4 queens, but he's still getting the gas a little bit earlier than he would usually do. So that's a little bit, that's a compromise between what I said earlier. TSL known for their players relying heavily on queens and taking late gas, but as I said, on this map he can actually, I expected him to get gas a little bit earlier. Now look at this, he's going for the Roach Warren, and if he really starts here with Roaches and even the possibility, this could well be a Roach Baneling attack. If you look at how he plays this, he takes a 3rd base, but you can still do this with 3 bases. That is something that Suo Shin did over and over again. So that's going to be that is going to be really interesting. With double gas, that could definitely be Roach Baneling.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be though.
It could be indeed, and I think that there's a very good chance of it, which is going to be great against Pure Marine. The pressure that he is going to face is going to be immense. If he only makes 3 Roaches, if this is just like a 3 Roach defense for Hellions, then that is going to be a big problem for him when these Marines come across. He has no idea what's going on right now.
There are no additional drones. 7 Roaches are coming. Is he getting the Baneling Nest now? If he wants to go for Banelings as well, he has to build them now. He has to build the Baneling Nest now, and...
Well, this is going to be tough to hold, man. With this many Marines coming out,
he has
no
no
speed. Insane amount of DPS.
It didn't start with speed. There's not going to be Roach Baneling. He's just relying on the Roaches now. No speed, no Baneling Nest, Roaches, and he already starts to follow it up with drones once again.
Oh, this is going to be troublesome. So many Marines rallied across the map. He set his rally so that they are just not going to stop no matter what Marine he's rallied to. Oh, here we go. The SCV's leading the charge. He's doing a ton of DPS here. The Roaches in full retreat. They're not on creep yet, though. The SCV's even tanking here just a little bit, but the parade push it has begun. Tech Lab going up so he can get Stem as a follow-up to this. He may even go for combat shields. Nice micro on the Roaches.
Still, I want to point something out. Do you see this insane creep spread for the 8-minute mark?
Yeah.
We are 8 minutes in the game, and look where the creep is. Without the creep, guys, don't underestimate this. You've seen how those Marines teared through these Roaches while they were off creep, but as soon as they're on creep, the Roaches are faster, so they can kite the Marines and can do the damage. And right now, he's getting the Roaches, and thanks to his creep spread, he can make this work. The creep spread is everything here. Creep spread is key, and of course with the Roach composition especially.
Now these DPS of these Marines is still going to be pretty huge, but I think there may be too many Roaches now. He's trying to decide if he wants to commit. He's going to pull back. And back at home, he does have an eBay. Finishing up, his stim has been started long ago, and he's going to lose several of these Marines on his way home. He may want to even drop one to pull the Roaches back for a second.
This is I love the opening by Skull because it tries to make up for something that happens lately, that the Zerg players are relying more and more on their queens because their queens are so much better against Hellions right now. So starting with early Marines is a great choice. If Symbol would have relied on his builds too much and not used this attack that he started with the Roaches, he would have been in big trouble. But just how this works out at the same time, Symbol with this amazing creep spread, this is really an awesome opening from both players, and Sculp is just a little bit unlucky that Symbol chose this kind of attack.
If he had gone Roachless, he would have been in big trouble, or just had a few Roaches out.
He would have nearly died because he would have had a few Zerglings. Maybe what you usually try to do is you go for Zerglings, you rely on your queens, but you don't necessarily have a Baneling Nest yet. And if a force like this hits you and you don't know about it and you don't have Roaches, you only have queens and Zerglings. Even if you have 1 or 2 Banelings, you will probably, maybe not die, but lose a lot. So great opening, great choice for the build order here by Symbol. And now look at the production tab, what he's getting. He reached layer, he's going immediately for Infestation Pit. Speed for his Roaches, speed for his Banelings, this is great. And Sculp, of course, mixing in Marauders right now. He knows, hey, well, you have Roaches? Okay, I'll get Marauders.
And this is a really scary push because of his Marauder count and because Stim is finished. He had combat shields on the way, he canceled them though. And this is really interesting. He's going to continue this push. He's got the Marauders in front for the Banelings. The Banelings not all done. Now they are. And, oh, he's getting caught by the Lings a little bit here. And he's actually going to be pushed back. This is great for Symbol. If he gets caught by these lings, the roaches will do the rest.
He will be caught. He will be caught.
Well,
he cannot really pull this off. He's stimming again, and he has to stay. He's losing everything. Great start here for Symbol. This is a gamble that Sculpt took a little bit, and he might have won. And Symbol kind of makes this look easy, but don't underestimate how scary this actually was.
Yeah, a very scary push, but his creep spread is already halfway across the map.
He's
not that 40 supply.
It's not that Sculpt made a mistake here. It's just that he faced exactly the opening from his opponent that countered his idea, his start.
So Overlord very unfortunately flying a little bit too slow. His brother, I guess, gets away. But yeah, you're right. It's just a little bit unfortunate with what sort of build he was facing. Oh, look at this trap. Roaches will burrow on Cement.
Hello there!
Boom. Hitting so many, and you know, look at the supply though. He's only up about 40 here, and the third base for our Terran is up. He's got Hive Tech though, Overlord speed, Infestors are coming out.
That's the problem. It doesn't really matter how much the supply is right now, because the problem is that he doesn't have the tech. There are no siege tanks. He has nothing. He has no tech. You said it best when you said that he built the 5 barracks. If you invest this much into barracks and you don't get the gas, your whole tech will be delayed. And now he is in a very, very bad spot because he's still relying on this build. And look how Symbol is dominating the map right now and dominating this game. His creep spread is insane. He already crossed the middle of the map. He has a 4th base being set up. He will soon take a 5th. He has an insane income. Hive Tech is done. Going for the Ultralisk, Adrenal Glands, and additional 15 Harvesters. This guy, he can do whatever he wants right now. He has all the time in the world. He has already Spine Crawlers set up in his main base against drop play. Symbol is... He is in such an amazing position. I don't even have words to describe how good he's looking.
Yeah, he's 40 supply up now. Adrenal Glands are going to really help him out with how many links he has. He's got 62 of them. As soon as he attacks this third base, Sculpt is going to really start to feel the hurt, because if he attacks the third and the natural with smaller groups of lings, he's not going to have very much. His siege tanks aren't ready. His siege mode is on the way now. He's getting +2. His opponent already has +2-2, way ahead of him. These drops could potentially pose a threat because there's not really any defense set up. But yeah, he's seen them and he's going back. He will totally shut this down. He loses his attack timing, and this does really help Sculpt. That's what these drops are for. They're not really to do damage. It only does damage as a punishing move. His opponent is not ready. And look at this, not even loading or unloading rather everything so he can get out.
Bungle.
But the second drop will go around. Even so, though, he's so close to defend this. I'm a little bit surprised he's trying to go in here.
And there are Spine Crawlers as well that will at least delay it a little bit. Very well played by Symbol so far. And Sculpt, he has to slowly but steadily try to claw his way back into this game. He's trying to add the siege tanks now, also starting with the +2 upgrades. But at the same time, well, the +2/+2 is nearly done for his opponent. So this is tough. And Symbol, he saw that there's drop play coming. He saw and he realized, okay, there's probably going to be more. So what is he doing? He's adding more Spine Crawlers, more Spore Crawlers, and just trying... Oh, even borrowing the Queen here to save it. I like it.
I like that a lot. It's something you very rarely see. It really shows he's on top of his micro, on top of his vision. Small squad of units over here. He missed the scan, though, so he can actually get to kill those tumors. And you will actually want to scan and kill those. He's got the watchtower right now, sure, but he needs to start pushing this creep back so he can actually be aggressive, because as it is right now, he has no chance of moving out on the map. Not even, I mean... The second he touches the creep with a large force of units, he'll be attacked, surrounded. His opponent has better upgrades than he is, so ahead in 3-3 on the way much faster. He didn't get +2 armor at all, so he's not even going to have that. It's going to be 2-2 against 2-1.
Double command center now for Sculpt. Sculpt still has 180 supply, but it is Symbol who is setting the pace of the game here. He has 2,000 minerals banked up. He's getting a 5th base as we speak. He will probably add additional ones very, very soon, just because he can. Not moving in here. A sieged up Terran player in this position is very, very strong to beat, and overcommitting would be a mistake. But those drops that Sculpt is currently sending across the map, they are not really going to happen.
I mean, there's not much he can do with them. His opponent has so many Zerlings. In fact, right now he's got 53. It's not 150 like his teammate, but he's got double Spire going down now.
That is a problem, though. He didn't kill the rocks yet.
No, yeah, he did not, but it's going to make this a little bit more difficult to defend, but he's got so much bank right now. The Spine Crawlers alone are really deterring these drops. Look how many he's made. And that's the trade-off. He's made Spines instead of a ton of Lings to defend here. And now his opponent has no chance of deterring his creep. or he hasn't even tried to. And he's got those 2 additional command centers. He has a place for them, but the question is, how will he deal with the greater Spire Tech that he's about to start seeing? That's
Double
going to be the
Spine
problem.
Crawler and drop as well. Symbol is getting every upgrade that is available to him because he knows he has the economy to pull it off, and he will not stop. He will just continue like this. And the thing is, the creep also helps him to defend. Even if his army is across the map and is at the bottom left, just trying to make sure that Terran player is not taking a fourth, and he's dropped at the top right, he can move so fast with the Zerglings.
Yeah, the drop at the top left was completely cleaned up. It's just an empty medevac now. He's trying to chase it, but the one thing that Sculp has going for him is he's got a nice defensive position that Symbol will not be able to attack, really. It's going to be very difficult for him, but the problem is Symbol can attack and then switch compositions very easily. And, you know, Sculp, though, he's turtled in a position where he's got now a 5th base coming up, and additional command centers are down all over the map he can use to drop mules. Oh, he spots this drop. This is really important. This is one way you can attack and circumvent that turtled up position.
They both scout each other's drop play, and there are the units are already in position for Symbol. At the same time, he's dropping his opponent's main base. Here come the Marines and Marauders, but they are too late. They are too late. This drop is going to happen, and oh my god, he's dropping Banelings on top of his opponent's units. The Bioforce is in trouble, but this is a position he doesn't really want to engage. The Fungals, they are perfect though, and he's just trying to force his way through, but on the low ground, the siege tanks are in a perfect spot to take down these Ultralisks.
Yeah, I think this drop may have been a little bit overzealous in how much he committed to it, but with his bank, he's able to remax very quickly. 12 Corruptors on the way, completely switching his composition. His opponent has started Viking production. He's about to have 2 Vikings, though, in total, and that's not going to be enough.
No.
Not with the Greater Spire finishing with 12 Corruptors. He's got +1 on the way. A little bit late because the Spire is so late.
But at the same time, once again, 3,500 minerals, 1,700 gas, and this after he built the 12 Corruptors. And he's getting double base now in the middle of the map. Even though we have now a 4th base and a 5th base coming up for Skull, Symbol has every upgrade in the book except for the upgrades that he's currently getting as Wolf set. And he's just trying to move in here once again. The Banelings try to close distance with the Marines, and everything dies here. Everything dies for NSO's Skull. The problem with the Terran is he cannot win a numbers game. The bank for Symbol is just too big, and oh my god.
12 Brood Lords, 5 more Corruptors on the way, and that army that he killed with his, you know, Sculpt's attack, basically he lost most of his army, and the only thing he accomplished was freeing up enough supply for his opponent to make Brood Lords and more Corruptors. I mean, he is in the worst shape you could ever be. He still has a ton of economy, but he has to keep remaking units, and his opponent has the bank. He has the bank to remake units almost indefinitely. He's actually a 201 over 200 supply because of his spine crawlers he just made. He's down, you know, his resources are down now because he spent them all for the most part, but his economy is so great he can get them back almost instantly.
Double Nidus.
And he's got 42 larvae available to him, and that's just going to get bigger and bigger as he continues to hit these injects.
I'm missing some infestors, and I am not quite sure if he really has enough or enough Corruptors to save this army, and this is a problem that he might have. If the air army of Skull is able to take down the Corruptors and kills every single Broodlord, that is too much. That is something that Symbol cannot lose. It's too much. And now we already have 7 Vikings against 9 Corruptors. This is a battle that, he can't win. Symbol cannot win this. If he engages now, there are too many Vikings. There are 10 Vikings already, 10 against 9, and he is still producing. He's still producing Vikings, and if the Viking count gets up to 12 or even higher with the Marines, then suddenly he might lose this force, and that would be a huge blow.
Yeah, I think what he's going to do now is try to kind of get next to this base on the side or go for a Nidus so he can free up some supply, because as is, he can't add any more infestors. He's maxed, and he lost so many Overlords to those Vikings that he's going to have to produce a lot more of those. Seeker Missile on the way, and most excitingly, a Ghost Academy, as well as another army. And Sculp really knows what he's doing here in the late game. He's targeting down this hatchery with his 3/3 Marauders, and they will get it most likely. No. About 2 shots away there, and he does not get it.
And here they are, the Corruptors taking down the Medivacs. If he uses the Nidus network to get units onto the high ground in the main base, and at the same time sets up the Corruptors, the Broodlords in a position where he can take down any incoming army, that would be a perfect spot for him to engage. But now He already retreated, and this is Sculp getting back into the game here.
Yeah.
He had the time that he needed to make this work, and Symbol allowed him to take a 4th and a 5th.
Yeah, he got the bank. He got the bank from those bases, and now he's able to switch his tech. Nice catch on the medevacs here, though. That's
very nice catch.
That puts him down 20 supply instantaneously. +2 flare weapons as well as +1 Carapace finishes. Since he has those double spires, he can afford to do this. I'm curious about this. I mean, he's got 4 starports on the way. He's going to go into Ravens similarly to how Bomber did. See how well he can execute this. Losing the infestation pit is so important. He already immediately remakes it before it even dies. The Broodlords are trying to get into a good position. The Viking count, though, is all the way up to 15, and with Ravens out for point defense drone, this is going to be really, really difficult to attack for Symbol.
He needs more Infestors, and he's getting them now as we speak. But the thing is, even though Sculp has lost 6,000... And there it is. This is exactly what I talked about. The Nidus on the high ground, and he's getting 2 of them because he knows one will most likely die. But now he needs to immediately reinforce with those Infestors to take down the Vikings of his opponent. There they are. Double Nidus. Is he getting the units out in time? I don't think so. No, not without the Broodlords. He needs the Broodlords.
Yeah, he sent them all home. He knew that wasn't going to work. He totally backed off. His Niduses are in the middle of the map, which I like much better than having them in his main base. That means that he can actually continue to attack and then send his units into Niduses from the edges of his opponent's bases. And this is actually a problem that Zerg will face on a map like this when your opponent is so defensive. He's got Neo Steel frames. He's got the building armor coming out. He's got armor for his Ravens coming out. He's just got this extremely defensive turtley position.
And here we go again. Once again, the same strategy using the double knights, but here they are, the Vikings. And this is the big threat to Symbol. He needs Fungals, and he needs them now. He needs them now. Where the Infestors, the Nidus network is ready. The Infestors, they come and they fungal.
A fungal indeed, and this is a bit of an oversight for our Terran player. He's going to lose a lot of Vikings here potentially.
No, he's not. He killed every single Corruptor. He took the Corruptors down already. It was too late. The Fungals were not in time, and if they chase down the Broodlords, then Symbol will be not only in a little bit of a trouble, he might even lose the game.
16 Corruptors on the way. The Broodlords, though, are all going to fall. He has no defense for them. 2 battle cruisers on the way, and the Ravens are coming with this.
Oh my god, he's moving in right now. The battle cruisers are being built at the same time. He doesn't even care about the queens. He's like, I don't give it.
Super Missile hits all of those Broodlords. They don't kill him, but
here come the Corruptors. Finally, another drop happening at the top left. Sculp is back in the game. Symbol not using the timing that he had to take down his opponent's bases. He allowed the 4th. He allowed the 5th.
Drone, and these Vikings are taking out the Broodlords. And this is putting him down several tens of supplies. And there's no stopping these Vikings. The 1 queen here, the 2nd queen joining, they're not going to be enough. The Corruptors here are being taken out. And even if he loses every Viking, he's got so much to back this up.
Earlier on, we actually had the situation that Sculp lost 7,000 more resources than his opponent. Now, it's not the other way around, but Sculp lost a lot less than Symbol as he was able to take down every single Broodlord of his opponent. And this is basically because he was allowed to get back into the game. He was forced on 3 bases. Symbol had 5, but Symbol never shut down the attempts of the Terran to take a 4th and a 5th. He relied on the late game, and suddenly he does not have the answer that he needs to shut down the Viking play, and Sculp is back into business.
But these Infestors are coming out with Ultralisk support to clean up the army here, and he's now on the attack. The battle cruisers, however, will completely shut this down. He has no answer for that right now. His Corruptor count at 0. And the Ultras, yeah, they're going to clean up the Bio Army and some of these SCVs, but Mules are really the only things that he needs at this point, and he has so many Orbals to continue to drop those. He's even lifting his Command Center to save it. The Ultras are on their way out, but he's going to lose these Niduses and the ability to attack from this location. However, Broodlords, a few of them are left. They're going to the left side of the map now. The top left is under attack. Right now, the supply even, but the composition for Sculp is so much better.
But wait, we have 10 Infestors now, and I wanted to point this out before he actually built them because he upgraded Neural Parasite. He has the Neural Parasite upgrade, and as soon as he relies on a ground army, those 12 Vikings, and he's getting more of them, they will be useless. Yeah. They will be useless. And Symbol is suddenly realizing, oh my god, I was a little bit too overconfident here. I was actually too timid. I did not take my opponent down when I had the chance to. When I had the chance to shut him down, when I was way ahead. And right now they are on even bases. And this is a situation that you don't want to face. The 2 bases that he set up in the middle of the map, they are gone. And why is he building 2 Corruptors? Why?
I don't know about
there is no reason to build them.
But I think that he needs another hatchery soon. I mean, his opponent is going to take the island right now. He can easily just drop an auto turret to kill that tumor. In fact, he may have already done just that. No, dropped a Marine to do that. He's going to take the island at the bottom right. And the army here is so vulnerable to missiles, for example. The Seeker missiles can do so much to him here. Broodlords are continuing to attack at the top left to kill some of these starports. It's not too big of a problem. And just these Vikings alone. Oh, wow. Here he goes. He's not knurling the battle cruisers, but his ultras are doing a lot of damage. He doesn't have enough energy for knurls. The battle cruisers will eventually take out the broodlords, and this is problematic for Symbol. He's also lost all of his broodlords at the top left.
The Infestors, they already died to the battle cruisers. Once again, we have the Nidus network. He's trying to reinforce immediately. 46 Zerglings are building now. He needs something to shut down this Heretic, though. And we have auto turrets.
Auto turrets taking out the Niduses. One of them will finish, but the second one will not.
He does not have a lot of time, though. Here they go. Fungal Infa.
He needs to knurl. He has the 1 knurl. Okay, he does it.
He needs more. He needs more. The auto turrets are focusing down the Infestors right now, and the battle cruisers, they are free again. 150 supply for Scalp, 180 for the TSL players. What a game!
What a game indeed. The Infested Terrans taking out the battle cruiser slowly, but he still doesn't have answer for these Ultras. Vikings are attacking at the base over here, the last mining base, but he takes most of them out. Symbol with the supply lead here in the Ultras. They are still attacking. They're hitting the production facilities. Any unit that he makes is killed instantly by these Ultras. The Zerglings are streaming in as well, and Symbol doing so much damage here, but the game is not over yet. The island has been taken. He's got a lot of resources there, but he needs to reproduce his
mules! What is going on? 20 mules at once, and those battle cruisers, that's something that he doesn't have an answer to just yet. The problem for Symbol, he doesn't have a lot of mining. He does not have one of those island expansions. He's trying to expand into the middle of the map once again. What a crazy game.
Needs more production. If you look at his barracks, as you guys cannot, he has like 8 Marines queued up in each barracks. He cannot produce them. All of his SCVs are going down here. Symbol in a huge lead. That island expansion is going to be for nothing if he can't actually use it to produce units.
But on the other hand, he has the Ravens. He has those units that he needs in order to survive the late game. 7 Infestors for his opponent. And here we go!
Knurl, he could have Seeker Missiled them there, but he decides to go for auto turrets instead.
His Infestor dies though. The Infestor is down, and now he is switching to Corruptors again. We have 12 Corruptors. There are no Vikings. Can he take down the army of his opponent? The game starts with a huge lead for Symbol. Scalp comes back into the match, and now suddenly we have Infested Terrans, Battle Cruiser, Raven. Oh my god,
he's
what
trying
a
to target
sick match.
Down the battle cruiser. It's got +2 plating though, and there's not a lot of upgrades out for the Infested Terrans. Meanwhile, he will clean up these Infestors, but there's a huge Zergling counterattack running past the auto turrets. He's going to go into the production, and again, this is the worst thing for Sculpt right now, but he's started to build up that production again.
What is Symbol doing? He doesn't build anything. He has the lava. He has 3,000. What is going on?
He has 3,000 minerals. He's trying to decide his next plan of action. He's got 3 Ultras on the way right now. It's 66 drones to 4
But
SCVs,
what is
but
he
with
doing?
The mules,
get rid of your resources, man. At least of the gas that you already have.
He's trying to decide what his next move is going to be. He has a lot of Corruptors out right now, and I think he's going to start making Infestors. That's what he needs. He only has 1 right now, but this game may be lost for him because he still can't deal with these Ravens. There's a lot of Vikings. What would you make here? There's nothing to
Corruptors.
make. He already has 15, but I mean,
that's
with
not
Corruptors
enough.
Alone, it's not going to be enough for the Bioforce.
He committed to Corruptors when he built 12, but 12 are not going to be enough. If you commit to Corruptors, you have to get more. Right now he's out of gas because he built Ultralisks and he built the Banelings, but if he really wants to win the air battle, 12 Corruptors are not going to be enough.
Well, the air battle is one part of this, but he still has to deal with the Mirage as well. This is just, I feel like Sculpt has the much better composition by miles right now. He's got better upgrades. He has +3 for his ships, and he...
Look at the army supply.
Yeah, he lost 186. It's 190 to 186, but he has 4 SCVs.
Exactly. He has lost all the SCVs. He's relying completely on mules, and this is not enough. Symbol, what are you doing? Why do you engage here?
Well, he's going to take out the battle cruisers and the Lings, and Ultras take out the Bioforce
that is
on the
actually
ground.
only the half of it. Sculpt is fighting with half of his army. There they are. There come the rest of the Vikings, and also his Ravens. And now the Corruptors, they have to hightail their shit out of there.
This is insanity. He's going to drop Zerglings on this orbital here after all the mules just got landed. He's going to stop all the mules from mining. This is his only base right now. Meanwhile, the battle cruisers, most of them are gone. He has one left. He's got a ton of medevacs.
20 medevacs.
Yeah, 20 medevacs right now, but what are they going to heal? He's going to clean up the last of these bioforces. This game is possibly the closest game I have ever seen in my entire casting career. 4 Ravens still exist on the map, several of them heavily damaged right now. But the Zerg player is moving out, and he is moving out fast. Coming down here to the bottom right, he's going to force all of these orbitals to lift.
He's trying to kill the production of his opponent. Once again, we have the infestation build rebuild. And here is Sculp has 3 minerals. He has nothing. He has no SCVs. He needs to mine somewhere. And suddenly we have a mining base for his opponent. Symbol is mining again.
Yeah, he's mining from 2 bases. One of them
what a
completely
match.
full of minerals. He's making spore crawlers, and spore crawlers only, because he knows his opponent will attack him with battle cruisers and potentially Ravens soon. And of course, this is going to help him against the medevacs as well. But it targets 1 Ultralist here. It's going to do a little bit of damage, if actually it gets there. He didn't get durable material, so it's actually just going to fall down and collapse there. No success. Scans, sees the base. That's going to put him into a little bit of a panic. He needs to attack that location, and he needs to do it before it pays off.
Symbol knows I have mining. He knows my opponent doesn't. This is the fight that we've been waiting for. Army supply, currently 123 against 79. What are you now doing, Symbol? Are you mining? Are you giving up the base? Are you waiting for later on? Are you trying to make this work? We have a ton of spore crawlers that he has over here. He can defend this. He is trying to go in. He rebuilt the infestation bit, but he has only 1 infester. That's all that he's got right now. And here, nice fungus. A beautiful fungus. Oh, he takes them down.
Takes out one of the queens. The queens, though, several of them are left. Another one will take out some banelings here. Several banelings going down the Vikings land. Sculp needs to kill this base. But I don't know if he has enough. I just don't think so. There's only medevacs here. The Ultra's coming, and this is a bad position for the Zerg player, but the banelings, they are connecting. But there are a lot of Marines left, and the Ultras are pushed back. The medevacs healing so much here.
The transfuser is so important, but why would you move in? Why would you not turtle and wait for you to get more income? He's trying to move in again. There's a fungo.
There's only 1, and there are more medevacs than Marines. He picks up those units.
Oh my God!
The Queens, I cannot believe this. He will hold this base.
66 supply against 133. Symbol moves out a little bit premature. He tries to take down his opponent's forces, underestimates how much firepower the Terran has to fall back. The Ultralists blocking each other, and now it's suddenly Sculp again, who has the mining base to the top left,
13.
and he is calling down 16 mules.
16 mules, 4 infestors on the way. Or TSL Zerg, he's got 1 mining base, but that's not going to be enough to compete with this much mule power, and the production of the Terran has restarted. 7 Marines at a time. Marauders coming out here as well. And with this many medevacs, he still has 18 of them. He can just spend only minerals and get those Marines back out. And with the amount of healing he has, infestors alone are not enough. He needs banelings too, because he has to collide and take those units out instantly. He can't rely on fungals because the medevacs will out-heal the fungal damage.
At the same time now, the spine crawlers being set up to save this base. He could actually just transfer a few of the spine crawlers that are positioned at the rest of his bases, because he doesn't really need them all that much anymore. He has the lava available already, 53 harvesters, and this means once again that the army supply is in favor of his opponent.
The Overlord is going to spot this base. He's only got 1 Viking here. Now this is going to see it. He does have some Marines and Marauders there as well, so he knows exactly how much he needs to drop. He's going to do a double drop here. Actually, no, triple. Triple drop with Lings. This is pretty, this is pretty important, because if he kills all the mules here and forces this lift again, he will again force Sculp to wait. Sculp is going to lose a lot of mining. If he can actually set up air control, right now there are only 1 Viking. What if he makes a switch to Corruptors and shuts down this base and takes, with his Nidus networks, remakes Nidus and takes the base
If he shuts down the base, then Sculp will be on a clock, because his mining will be gone, and he will shut down this base. There is no question about it. Another is set up, and there are not a lot of minerals left on the map, but to the bottom left. Drops have left. We have another base now for the Terran player.
Yeah, he's taken his old third. The drops will actually, he's counter-dropping the drop with the drop to save this. Yeah, he saves a lot of these units. Even some of the mules stay alive, but there's several minerals in these mules' hands that will never be landed, never returned.
And well, I have to say, I don't really want to say that Symbol is falling apart here, but the usual Symbol style that we know, where he is so map aware, that's something that he doesn't do here right now. Currently, he has no scouting going on. He has no idea about the base at the bottom left. Maybe now the Overlord is able to spot the refinery that's being rebuilt. There's a few mineral patches that he's able to harvest. The Overlord indeed spots the refinery, so he has at least aware partly about what's going on.
These
Here
auto
come
turrets.
the auto turrets trying to shut this base down, and auto turrets are so strong, but the Viking is about to die.
Yeah, the Viking will go down, and oh, this better than auto turrets, man. Is 3-3 Marines running in, takes out. He's taking out everything. He's not even reacting. He's not moving his ultras. They are trapped in a corner here.
Symbol is about to lose this game. It is Scalp who might deal the first loss to Symbol in this GSTL season. He is in such a great position. His army supply is currently 100 to 59. He's still relying on his orbitals and his mules. The drop at the top left takes down a lot of those mules, but the problem is that once again, Scalp can't just drop his own units with the amount of medivacs that he has.
Yeah, and he can just land this orbital again. That's exactly what he's going to do.
And then he's going to mule again.
He still has this base at the bottom right. I would like to see Symbol take an island. He has drops. He can drop a drone onto the island and take it.
I think it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late now, but that's something I would have liked to see. Okay, he does come over here and attacks his base, and mules have just been dropped, so this is really important. He's going to lose a lot of energy here, but the army is something he still has to deal with. He has 4 infestors out right now. He needs more. He will need more infestors to stop this bioforce, but infestors alone will not be enough. He has to have infestors and great baneling hits. He has to get everything. He has to have a perfect engagement. He needs a miracle now.
He should have pulled the freaky earlier. Just go for a ton of infestors so that you can use
This is mostly Marines, but the Marines are split well. The infestors were at the back. He cannot actually engage this. He's going to try it.
It's too much.
The fungal was too late, and the Marines, they remain alive. He will take out most of this. The auto turret's being dropped.
This
could be the last engagement.
Scalp is chasing him back. Another beautiful fungal.
But he doesn't have a second.
The Ultralist not getting close
there's
enough.
not enough DPS, but he will fall back to the spines. And if Scalp overcommits here, he could lose his bioforce. But the medevac count right now is 17. And there's no fungal energy left. He needed more infestors. He should not have engaged there. And this is going to be the final blow.
That has to be it. He's taking down the last mining base. The NSOSA bench is clapping like crazy. The guys are cheering. Here comes the last remaining force for Symbol, rolling with the mainlings and the surf. He's trying to take this army down, but he's at 57 supply. His army supply is down to 10 against 90. The mules!
The Manor Mules in the last hatchery of ball. This will be the first loss of Symbol this season. And one of the craziest games, this may be the best game I have ever had the pleasure to broadcast. 30 additional Zerglings coming out here, but that is not going to be, I mean, it's nowhere near going to be enough.
No, this game is over. Scalp has the base to the top left. He has the mules, he has the income. Symbol doesn't have any income whatsoever. I think he has 2 mineral patches left, so he has a little bit, but this is something that he cannot stop. Symbol had the chance to take this game. He had a huge lead. Scalp used the opportunity that he had. GG! Came back into this match. Scalp with an amazing performance here. A great comeback after the initial push, and Symbol is sitting there. He's like, I cannot believe this happened. Wow. Look at Scalp. Look at NSOSA bench. Oh, wow.
That was an insane game. I don't think I have seen 2 people play against each other in such a close fashion with the map awareness. This is really the, I mean, when you look at Metropolis as a map, oftentimes it does not go past 3 bases, but in this case, we saw islands, both of them taken. We saw bases all over the map for the Zerg that he was trying to hold on to mining. I mean, I'm speechless. I am speechless. The compositions we saw battle cruisers, Ravens, Seeker missiles, infested Terrans. We saw Neural Parasite. We saw Nidus networks 2 at a time. We saw every tactic, every arsenal, every piece of both races' armies. We saw full upgrades. We saw Neo Steel frames. We saw building armor. We saw planetaries at places I never thought we'd see planetaries. What a game.
Symbol, on the other hand, had a lot of decisions, a lot of wrong decisions in the game. Of course, if you play such a game, you are completely on edge. But a lot of times he kind of misread what his opponent was doing. He was building 12 Corruptors and trying to engage a force of 16 Vikings, of Ravens in addition, and Battle Cruisers. If you want to fight the air battle against your opponent, you have to commit everything to it. If you take down the Battle Cruisers, the Vikings, and the Medivacs, you're in a great position. Of course, there's a couple of ground units, but with the Infestor support, you can do it. I talked a little bit about it, that at some point he had minerals, he had gas, he had lava, he had supply, but he didn't build anything. He didn't know what kind of composition to go for. And if he would have chosen one composition to that he started, either go for ground units with a lot of infestors to make sure that you can fungal, that you can use the infested terrans, that you can take them down, or you completely commit to the air battle, use the Corruptors, take down the entire army, have a couple of units on the low ground. But he was not infestor heavy enough, especially in the late game, and just a couple of decisions where he didn't know exactly what he was facing, I feel like he didn't have the scouting information that he knew exactly what Skull was doing, and he allowed the Terran player to get back into the game. The early game advantage that he had after this opening was amazing. He had every tech in the book. He had 5 bases against 3. He had all the means to shut down additional bases from his opponent. He could even have gone for double upgrade, double spire, Mutalisk play. Even that would have worked. He had 5,000 minerals.
I would have liked
3,000 gas.
Take the island bases earlier. If the Zerg controls the island with creep and spore crawlers, yeah, you can drop and kill that, but you can't take it yourself until the creep proceeds. The Zerg can continue to do this. He had Nidus, but he also had drops. He could have done this very easily. And then once you control the island bases and stop your opponent, if he went for the Corruptors early and really committed, like you said, really committed, won that air battle, then no island bases for the Terran.
When he attacked with the Broodlords, that was another mistake. I mean, we are talking about a really, really high-level game here, but this is small things that changed.
Crucial engagements really put him
changed
behind.
The course of the battle. We talked about it. I mean, we have the numbers, we see it, but he had to realize that there were too many Vikings. If you really want to work with those Broodlords, you need either more Corruptors or you need the Infestors, and he didn't have the Infestors for the Fungals, so he started to attack, and I simply loved the double Nidus. It is beautiful, it is so intelligent, but he didn't have it in time.
Right.
So suddenly, as soon as the Nidus was ready, all Corruptors were gone.
Yeah.
And all Corruptors were already dead when the 2 Infestors, he only had 2, arrived, fungled, and then what happened?
Nothing.
Nothing. The Vikings chased down the Broodlords and took every single one apart. Well, I think that like 3 survived, but he lost so much.
Yeah.
We had a point in the game where Sculpt, as the Terran, lost 7,000 resources more as the Zerg. If you see this as a Zerg player, like, this is GG. But, well, I think Symbol was a little bit too overconfident.
Yeah, perhaps so. We do have Atlantis Spaceship chosen as the map, and this is going to be Revival, I believe. Is that? Yeah, it's Revival. You can tell by his hair, man. If he hides, like, from the back I can't tell, but if I see the way that his hair covers his face, I know it's Revival.
A crazy game that we've seen. I loved the last match. It was brilliant. It was so cool.
It was insanity. It really was. And we're going to have another potential really long Terran versus Zerg. The map is Atlantis Spaceship here.
I know that in the last game a couple of people will argue about mules because he only relied on mules, but the thing is, Symbol allowed it. It was Symbol's game to lose with the advantage that he has. I think he already thought that he won the game, and he kind of had. But it was just those engagements that he chose that Skull won, and Skull played great. And if you are able to call down 20 mules at once, you have to have the command centers.
Yeah.
And Symbol's job was to shut them down, to kill those command centers. And he was more than once in his opponent's main base. On the other hand, I don't know, we talk a little. I don't want to bash on Symbol here. I just want to point out what happened that made him lose the game after this huge lead, because what he did in the early game, just how he defended against the drop play, I loved it. But I think at some point he already thought, okay, I can do whatever I want, I'm so far ahead, I will win. And when he then realized that he might as well lose it, he was a little bit like baffled and maybe a little bit blocked with his mindset. An amazing game, really hard to play, of course. If you are in this game and you play this match, it takes everything you got from you. And for Sculpt, this is amazing. He has such a momentum going for him now.
Yeah, he does. His opponent here is going to be Revival on Atlantis Spaceship, pulling this map out against Skull, playing another late game against this guy who has shown the beautiful transition. I mean, I don't think I have seen someone be behind in composition and make the starports at the right moment, take those bases, He knew he couldn't take the base in the center where, you know, normally as turn you want to expand towards Zerg so you can attack, but in this case he expanded away from the Zerg, defended those bases, made the transition into that air style, especially the Ravens, got every upgrade necessary. But Revival, our Zerg player coming out here, my favorite Zerg in fact on the team TSL. We don't see him all that much recently, but he has been training a lot, improving a lot. He's had so many Zerg players to practice with. We'll see if he can stop Sculpt here. It's not going to be easy. This is the GSTL where we are tied 3 apiece. Counter and Wolf bringing you this match on Atlantis Spaceship.